Most of us grew up hearing the same advice over and over: eat your vegetables. They're the healthiest thing on your plate. Parents, teachers, doctors, everyone repeated it like gospel. And for the most part, that's true. Vegetables are packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. They're supposed to help fight disease, keep the heart strong, and even slow down aging. But not all vegetables are created equal. There are 6 common ones, sitting in kitchens all over the country, that can quietly fuel belly fat, trigger inflammation, and make it harder to stay healthy with age. The surprising part is that these vegetables are often marketed as wholesome, diet-friendly, and even as superfoods. People have been told for years that they are good for them, but the truth is that for many aging bodies, they can work against long-term health. Corn is the first culprit. Though served as a vegetable, it's technically a grain, high in natural sugars and starch that can cause blood sugar to rise quickly. This spike forces the body to release more insulin, which promotes fat storage, especially around the belly. As we age, insulin sensitivity often decreases, making these spikes even more harmful. Iceberg lettuce follows. It's mostly water with very little nutritional value, but the real issue lies in the creamy dressings it's often paired with, loaded with seed oils like soybean or canola, which can drive inflammation when consumed in excess. Choosing spinach, arugula, or romaine instead can pack in more antioxidants and help the body fight inflammation rather than feed it. Peas, though small, carry their own risks. They're high in lectins, natural plant compounds that can irritate the lining of the digestive tract in sensitive individuals, leading to bloating, gas, and inflammation. For aging bodies, irritation in the gut can interfere with nutrient absorption, which is critical for maintaining strong bones and immunity. Green beans or asparagus can serve as gentler alternatives while still providing fiber and vitamins. Then comes kale, the so-called superfood. When eaten raw, kale is loaded with oxalates, compounds that can bind to important minerals like calcium and magnesium, making them harder for the body to absorb. Over time, too many oxalates can contribute to kidney stones and joint pain. Steaming or lightly sautéing kale can significantly reduce oxalate content, or it can be replaced with cooked spinach for a similar nutrient profile without the same risks. Celery might seem harmless, but it offers little nutrition and contains relatively high natural sodium for a vegetable. Combined with processed foods, it can lead to water retention and bloating. For those with joint issues or heart concerns, this extra fluid can be stressful on the body. Cucumbers, with more potassium to help balance sodium levels, make for a better choice and still provide a refreshing crunch. Finally, bell peppers bring color and sweetness to the plate, but as members of the nightshade family, they contain alkaloids that can cause inflammation in sensitive individuals. For someone already dealing with arthritis or chronic inflammation, this can mean more pain, digestive upset, or even skin flare-ups. Carrots or zucchini can stand in for peppers in many recipes, offering similar texture and nutrients without the same inflammatory potential. By reducing or removing these 6 vegetables, it's possible to help control belly fat, calm inflammation, and improve digestion without giving up enjoyable meals. Corn, iceberg lettuce, peas, raw kale, celery, and bell peppers may not be harmful to everyone, but for many, especially those in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, limiting them can lead to noticeable improvements in comfort, energy, and overall health. The key takeaway is that healthy eating isn't about adding more vegetables blindly, it's about choosing the right ones for your body's needs and preparing them in a way that supports health rather than undermines it. At the Wellness Vault, our goal is to help you make smarter food choices that actually work for your body. A free 7-day anti-inflammatory meal plan is available through the link in the description, packed with simple, budget-friendly recipes that are easy to follow and proven to reduce inflammation. Subscribe to the Wellness Vault so you never miss a weekly tip. Like this video if you're ready to take control of your health, and leave a comment saying "I'm ready for the truth" to let us know you're committed to making a change. Your health is worth it, and the right information can make all the difference. Number 6 is bell peppers. Bell peppers are often thought of as one of the healthiest vegetables you can add to your plate. They are colorful, sweet, and packed with vitamin C. Many people add them to salads, stir-fries, and sandwiches, believing they are a safe, nutrient-rich choice. For most people, they can be a healthy option. However, for some, especially those dealing with certain types of inflammation, bell peppers can cause more harm than good. Bell peppers belong to a group of plants called nightshades. This group also includes tomatoes, eggplants, and white potatoes. Nightshades contain a natural chemical called solanine, along with other plant compounds known as alkaloids. In some people, these compounds can irritate the body and lead to inflammation. This is not the case for everyone, but for those who are sensitive, eating bell peppers regularly can make symptoms worse. Inflammation is the body's way of protecting itself, but when it becomes chronic, it can cause lasting damage. For people with arthritis, joint pain, or autoimmune conditions, nightshade vegetables can sometimes act as a trigger. This means that after eating bell peppers, they may notice more stiffness, swelling, or discomfort in their joints. Some also report digestive upset, such as bloating or cramping, after eating nightshades. The connection between bell peppers and inflammation is still being studied, but there is enough evidence and personal experience from those affected to suggest caution. It is worth noting that sensitivity to nightshades is not an allergy in the traditional sense. Instead, it is more of an intolerance. This means the body may not react with a sudden or dangerous response, but over time, the irritation and inflammation can build up quietly. If you are unsure whether bell peppers are causing you problems, the best approach is to remove them from your diet for a short period, usually around 2 to 4 weeks. Pay attention to how your joints, digestion, and energy levels feel during this time. If you notice a positive change, it could be a sign that your body does better without nightshades. You can then decide whether to reintroduce them in small amounts or avoid them completely. For those who choose to cut back on bell peppers, there are plenty of easy swaps. Carrots provide a similar crunch and are rich in beta-carotene, which supports eye health and immune function. Zucchini can also work well in stir-fries and sautés, offering a mild flavor and a good source of vitamin C and potassium without the potential irritation. These alternatives can fit into almost any recipe that calls for bell peppers. It is important to remember that not everyone will need to avoid bell peppers. Many people eat them without any issues and enjoy their nutritional benefits. The goal is not to create unnecessary fear around healthy foods, but to understand that what works well for one person may not work well for another. As we age, it becomes even more important to pay attention to how our body responds to specific foods, as sensitivities can develop over time. Bell peppers can be part of a healthy diet for many people, but if you struggle with chronic pain or inflammation, it may be worth taking a closer look at whether they are helping or hurting. Listening to your body and making small adjustments can have a big impact on comfort, energy, and overall health. The key is to choose foods that support your unique needs, so you can stay active and feel your best. Number 5 is celery. Celery is often seen as one of the healthiest snacks you can eat. It is low in calories, crisp and refreshing, which makes it a popular choice for salads, snacks, and juicing. Many people think of it as a guilt-free food that can be eaten in large amounts without any concern. While celery does have some benefits, such as providing hydration and small amounts of vitamins, it is not as harmless as it might seem for everyone. One of the main reasons celery can be a problem is its sodium content. Compared to many other vegetables, celery contains more natural sodium. While this amount is not harmful for everyone, it can contribute to water retention in people who are sensitive to salt. Water retention makes the body hold on to extra fluid, which can lead to bloating, swelling in the hands and feet, and extra pressure on the joints. This is especially important to consider for people with arthritis, heart concerns, or kidney issues. Another point to consider is that celery is not very nutrient-dense. It is mostly water with a small amount of fiber and micronutrients. If someone is eating celery in place of more nutrient-rich vegetables, they might be missing out on vitamins and minerals that are important for maintaining energy, bone strength, and a strong immune system. This is particularly true for older adults, whose bodies may require more nutrient-rich foods to stay healthy. Celery juice has become popular in recent years, with many people claiming it can detox the body, improve digestion, and boost energy. While it can be hydrating, there is little scientific evidence to support these big claims. Drinking large amounts of celery juice every day can also increase sodium intake without providing much extra nutrition. For those already on a low-sodium diet, this can be a hidden source of salt that works against their health goals. If celery is a favorite food, it does not have to be avoided completely, but it can be helpful to eat it in moderation and balance it with other vegetables that are richer in vitamins and minerals. Pairing celery with foods like carrots, cucumbers, or leafy greens can increase the overall nutrient value of a meal or snack. This helps ensure that hydration is paired with the nutrients the body needs for daily function and long-term health. For those who are prone to water retention or swelling, replacing celery with cucumber can be a smart move. Cucumbers have more potassium, which helps the body balance sodium levels and reduce fluid buildup. They also provide antioxidants that help protect cells from damage. This makes cucumbers a more supportive choice for heart health, joint comfort, and overall well-being. It is also worth noting that celery can sometimes cause allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. While rare, celery allergies can cause itching, swelling, and digestive discomfort. This is more common in people with pollen allergies, as celery shares some similar proteins. Being aware of any unusual symptoms after eating celery can help identify if it is causing more harm than good. Celery may not be as dangerous as some processed foods or high-sugar snacks, but it is not the perfect health food it is often made out to be. Understanding its limitations and making smart substitutions when needed can help keep your diet balanced and supportive of your goals. The key is to focus on foods that work with your body, reduce unnecessary strain, and provide the nutrients needed for an active, healthy life. Number 4 is raw kale. Kale has earned a reputation as one of the healthiest foods you can eat. It is often called a superfood because it is rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Many people add it to salads, smoothies, and juices in its raw form to take advantage of its nutrient profile. While kale is indeed nutrient-dense, eating it raw can cause problems for some people, especially if it is eaten in large amounts on a regular basis. One of the main concerns with raw kale is its oxalate content. Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plants, and in high amounts they can bind to minerals like calcium and magnesium in the digestive tract. This can make those minerals harder for the body to absorb. Over time, this may contribute to mineral deficiencies, which can affect bone strength, muscle function, and overall health. High oxalate intake is also linked to an increased risk of kidney stones in people who are prone to them. Kidney stones can be very painful and may require medical treatment. For older adults who may already be at higher risk for both bone loss and kidney problems, paying attention to oxalate intake is important. While occasional raw kale is unlikely to cause harm for most people, frequent large servings can add up over time. Another potential issue is that kale, like other cruciferous vegetables, contains compounds that can affect thyroid function when eaten raw. These compounds, called goitrogens, can interfere with the thyroid's ability to use iodine, which is necessary for producing thyroid hormones. This is mostly a concern for people with existing thyroid issues, but it is still something to be aware of if raw kale is a regular part of your diet. Cooking kale can significantly reduce both oxalates and goitrogens. Steaming or lightly sautéing it not only lowers these compounds but also makes the kale easier to chew and digest. Cooking can also make some nutrients, such as beta-carotene, more available for the body to use. This means you can still enjoy kale's health benefits without as much risk of the potential downsides. If you prefer raw kale in salads, it can help to massage the leaves with a small amount of olive oil and let them sit for a few minutes before eating. This softens the leaves, making them less bitter and easier to digest. You can also combine smaller amounts of raw kale with other greens like spinach, arugula, or romaine to reduce the total oxalate and goitrogen load in your meal. It is also wise to consider variety when it comes to leafy greens. While kale is highly nutritious, relying on a single vegetable for most of your green intake can increase the risk of overexposure to certain compounds. Rotating your greens helps ensure you get a broad range of nutrients while avoiding potential buildup of any one plant compound. Kale can absolutely be part of a healthy diet, but like many foods, how you prepare and how often you eat it matters. By enjoying it cooked or in moderation when raw, you can protect your mineral balance, support your thyroid, and still take advantage of its many health-promoting properties. The goal is to make choices that support long-term wellness, and with kale, a little preparation can make a big difference. Number 3 is peas. Peas are often considered a wholesome and comforting food. They are served as a side dish, mixed into soups and stews, or added to salads for a pop of sweetness. Many people enjoy them because they are easy to prepare and have a mild taste. While peas do provide some vitamins, fiber, and plant protein, they also contain certain compounds that can cause problems for some people, particularly as they get older. One of the main concerns with peas is their lectin content. Lectins are natural proteins found in many plants that can be difficult for the digestive system to break down. In some individuals, lectins can irritate the lining of the gut, leading to bloating, gas, or discomfort. Over time, this irritation can interfere with nutrient absorption, which is especially important to avoid for older adults who need maximum nutrition from the foods they eat. Peas are also higher in carbohydrates than many other non-starchy vegetables. This means they can cause a quicker rise in blood sugar levels, particularly in people who have insulin resistance or diabetes. While peas are not as starchy as foods like corn or potatoes, eating large portions regularly can still add to daily carbohydrate intake in ways that may not be ideal for blood sugar control. Another thing to consider is that peas can contribute to inflammation in certain sensitive individuals. This is not true for everyone, but those with digestive conditions, autoimmune issues, or chronic inflammation may notice that their symptoms are worse after eating peas. Sometimes this connection is overlooked because peas are seen as a healthy food. Cooking peas can reduce some of the lectin content, making them easier to digest for most people. However, if you notice ongoing discomfort after eating peas, even when they are cooked, it may be worth reducing your intake or replacing them with gentler vegetables like green beans or zucchini. These alternatives can provide fiber and nutrients without the same level of lectins. For those who enjoy the sweetness of peas, snap peas or snow peas can be a slightly better choice. They tend to have less starch and a more balanced nutrient profile, especially when eaten in smaller amounts as part of a mixed vegetable dish. Pairing peas with healthy fats like olive oil can also help slow the absorption of their carbohydrates, reducing the impact on blood sugar. It is important to remember that food sensitivities vary greatly from person to person. Some people can eat peas regularly without any trouble, while others may feel better avoiding them. Paying attention to how your body feels in the hours and days after eating certain foods can provide valuable clues. Peas may not be the worst food in the world, but they are not as harmless as they might seem for everyone. By listening to your body and adjusting your diet when necessary, you can ensure that the vegetables you eat are supporting your health rather than creating hidden challenges. Number 2 is iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce is one of the most common salad greens in the world. It is crisp, refreshing, and widely available, which makes it a staple in many homes and restaurants. People often choose it because it adds volume to meals without adding many calories. However, while iceberg lettuce may be popular, it offers very little in the way of nutrition compared to darker, more nutrient-dense greens. The main drawback of iceberg lettuce is that it is made up mostly of water, with very small amounts of vitamins and minerals. Unlike spinach, kale, or romaine, it does not provide high levels of antioxidants, vitamin K, or folate. For someone trying to eat a diet that supports long-term health, relying heavily on iceberg lettuce means missing out on the disease-fighting benefits that other leafy greens can deliver. Another issue is how iceberg lettuce is often served. Many salads built around iceberg are topped with creamy dressings that contain processed seed oils and added sugars. These ingredients can increase inflammation in the body, particularly when consumed regularly. The combination of low-nutrient greens and unhealthy dressings means that what looks like a healthy salad can actually be working against your health goals. Inflammation is a slow and silent process that can affect joints, heart health, and even brain function. For people dealing with arthritis, cardiovascular concerns, or memory issues, reducing sources of inflammation is important. Choosing greens with more antioxidants can help counteract inflammation and protect cells from damage. If you enjoy the crunch of iceberg lettuce, there are easy ways to improve its nutritional value. One option is to mix it with darker greens like spinach, arugula, or romaine. This creates a salad with more flavor, more vitamins, and a stronger anti-inflammatory effect without losing the crisp texture that many people like. Another way to upgrade an iceberg-based salad is to replace processed dressings with homemade ones made from olive oil, vinegar, lemon juice, or yogurt. These healthier options can provide good fats and flavor without the harmful effects of industrial seed oils and added sugars. Iceberg lettuce is not harmful in small amounts, but it should not be the main source of greens in a diet. Eating it occasionally is fine, but relying on it as a daily vegetable can mean missing out on important nutrients that support energy, bone health, and disease prevention. The goal is to make every bite count, especially as we age and the body's needs become more specific. Choosing leafy greens that are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants can help you get the most out of your meals and protect your long-term health far better than iceberg lettuce alone. Number 1 is corn. Corn is one of the most widely eaten foods in the world. It is served fresh on the cob, canned, frozen, and ground into flour for breads, tortillas, and cereals. Many people think of corn as a healthy vegetable because it comes from a plant and is high in fiber. However, corn is not actually a vegetable in the traditional sense. It is classified as a grain, and this difference matters when it comes to its effect on the body. One of the main concerns with corn is its high starch content. Starch is a type of carbohydrate that the body quickly breaks down into sugar. This can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar, which in turn leads to an increase in insulin. Insulin is a hormone that helps store sugar as energy, but when it is produced in high amounts too often, it can encourage the body to store fat, especially around the belly. Over time, frequent spikes in blood sugar and insulin can make it harder to lose weight and can contribute to insulin resistance. Corn is also relatively low in the kinds of vitamins and antioxidants found in many other colorful vegetables. While it does contain some fiber and small amounts of nutrients like vitamin C and magnesium, it is not as nutrient-dense as vegetables such as broccoli, spinach, or carrots. For older adults, it is especially important to focus on nutrient-dense foods that deliver the most benefits per calorie. Another consideration is that much of the corn available today is genetically modified and heavily treated with pesticides during its growth. While research is still ongoing about the long-term effects, many people prefer to limit their exposure to genetically modified crops and pesticide residues for overall health. Choosing organic corn when possible can reduce some of these concerns, but it does not change the starch and sugar content. Corn products, such as cornmeal, corn chips, and corn syrup, can be even more problematic. They are often highly processed and stripped of much of their fiber, making them easier to digest and therefore quicker to raise blood sugar levels. Processed corn products also tend to be paired with unhealthy fats, excess salt, or added sugars, which can further contribute to inflammation and weight gain. For people who enjoy the taste of corn, reducing portion size and frequency can help. It can be treated more like a starchy side dish than a daily vegetable. Pairing corn with high-fiber vegetables and healthy fats can also slow down the absorption of its sugars, making it less likely to cause a sharp spike in blood sugar. Those looking for alternatives can try cauliflower rice, roasted zucchini, or steamed broccoli. These vegetables offer more vitamins and minerals with fewer carbohydrates, and they can often be used in recipes that call for corn. Making these swaps can help maintain a steadier energy level and support weight control. Corn can be enjoyed occasionally as part of a balanced diet, but it should not be relied on as a primary vegetable. Being mindful of its effects on blood sugar, its relatively low nutrient density, and the way it is prepared can make a big difference in how it impacts your health. Choosing vegetables that are rich in nutrients and lower in starch will better support long-term wellness and help reduce belly fat and inflammation. We have now covered 6 vegetables that may not be as healthy for everyone as their reputation suggests. While they are all plant-based and often recommended as part of a balanced diet, the truth is that they can cause problems for certain people, especially as we age. By understanding how these foods affect the body, it becomes easier to make informed choices that support your health rather than undermine it. Corn, our first vegetable, may seem harmless but is actually a starchy grain that can cause spikes in blood sugar and encourage fat storage. Iceberg lettuce provides little nutrition and is often paired with inflammatory dressings. Peas are higher in lectins and starch than many realize, which can irritate the gut and raise blood sugar. Raw kale, while nutrient-rich, contains oxalates and goitrogens that can interfere with mineral absorption and thyroid function. Celery, although refreshing, offers minimal nutrients and can contribute to water retention because of its sodium content. Finally, bell peppers, while colorful and high in vitamin C, belong to the nightshade family and can trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals. The key message is not that these vegetables are bad for everyone, but that paying attention to your body's responses is essential. Some people can eat these foods daily without any trouble, while others may notice joint pain, bloating, fatigue, or other symptoms improve when they reduce or remove them. The goal is to make your diet work for your unique needs, not to follow a one-size-fits-all list of healthy foods. Making adjustments does not mean you will lose variety or flavor in your meals. Each of the vegetables we discussed has easy alternatives that can deliver equal or greater nutritional benefits without the potential downsides. Choosing nutrient-dense greens, lower-starch vegetables, and gentle-on-the-gut options can help maintain energy, reduce inflammation, and support a healthy weight. Small, consistent changes often make the biggest difference over time. At the Wellness Vault, our mission is to help you uncover the truth about your food and give you practical, science-based solutions for feeling your best at any age. We have created a free 7-day anti-inflammatory meal plan to help you get started. It is simple, budget-friendly, and filled with recipes that nourish your body without hidden triggers. You can find the link in the description. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the Wellness Vault so you never miss our weekly health insights. Like this video to let us know you want more content like this, and share it with someone who could benefit from learning the truth about these vegetables. Most importantly, we would love to hear from you in the comments. Let us know which of these 6 vegetables you eat most often, and whether you have noticed any changes in how you feel after eating them. Your experiences could help others make better choices for their own health.